Let's compare four types of liquids. The first liquid is a solution. In a solution, the solid particle or the solute is very small, as in salt, and the liquid part is the solvent. And a good example would be a salt solution, and solutions in general tend to be transparent. The second type of liquid is a colloid. In a colloid, the solid particles are bigger, and a good example of a colloid is milk. And in a colloid, the solid and liquid parts do not separate. The third example is a suspension, where they separate, the solid and liquid parts separate if they are allowed to sit for a long period of time. A good example of that would be orange juice. The pink circles that you see here are like the pulp in the orange juice, and so when you leave it for a long period of time, they tend to settle. Another good example of a suspension is blood. When blood is allowed to centrifuge or sit for a long period of time in a test tube, it tends to separate. The blood cells separate to the bottom. The fourth example of a liquid is an emulsion. An emulsion tends to be shiny, like mayonnaise or shaving cream. Here, water and oil are forced to mix. The yellow circles you see here are oil or fat droplets, and they are surrounded by these little dots that are the salts that force the oil and water to mix into an emulsion. So, a good example of that would be mayonnaise.